Hi guys, it's Brandy. I am so excited to be back with video for y'all today and to hopefully launch a more consistent schedule. A lot going on these past couple of months in my family. I lost my mom and just been hard to get set doing anything. But anyway, I'm back. We're going to go strong with the YouTube and I hope y'all help me get my view times back up. I went recently to Craft A Cropolis. It's an event held by Maymay. Her channel is Maymay Made It, and I really had a great time. It's a great community of people, and we had some classes, and we had crop time, and it was lots of fun. But we did this in one of her classes, well, Maymay's class, and it is a kit that you can get, and I'll put a link for it below. But we built it in her class and decorated it. So the kit just comes with the cardstock, the craft, it's already cut for you and everything, you just put it together. And then of course we use the decorative paper. We used this, the Hidden Creek paper pad. It's beautiful paper. I love the color combination. So we used that. So I just wanted to share how I decorated it because this was a kit. And a lot of the stuff we did the same in the class, like we pretty much all did this paper, and then I went back and added this polka dot paper. But taking a class is fun because you get to see like other people's ideas, and it's kind of like why I like YouTube so much too, because everybody puts their own spin on things. But Maymay had this where it magnets onto the front, and I would have not thought of doing that because I'm not big on using magnets. Not because I don't like them, it's just because I don't do it often, so I don't think about it. But I just decorated this with some of the ephemera we had, some of the ephemera pieces. The first page behind it was just one of the cut apart sheets, so that was a neat idea. And then when you open it up, it has this waterfall thing that we built. It was already pre-cut, so I added some little extra embellishments, and there is a little magnet under here. That's also something I learned from Maymay. And then I put another little ephemera piece here, and there's one on the other side too. I went back and forth with my oldest daughter on the phone yesterday, like, should I put things on both? And I decided to leave one plain and do an embellishment on the other. The things we overthink about, let me tell you. Now I have two elements that I'm adding to this book, so I'm going to share those at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. This kit came with these pre-cut tags, and I didn't really like them that much. I wanted to do something more like, I love tags and I love to do collage tags and everything else. When I think of this, I think of it in terms as a junk journal. You could also use it for both. You could journal in it and put photos in it. So like these here would even be good journaling spots, because you can even put little like secret messages in there. But you could also put photos. So with the tags, I didn't want it to be so thick with putting decorative paper on top of that. So I just made my own tags the same size, and I used this really cute hole reinforcement punch that I have. So I did that and made my own tags, and then also used some of the ephemera to decorate the outside. So you see, some of them I did really plain, and this you could journal here, or you could put a photo here, or you could do both. So it opens up again, and I did add more ephemera. Now this is, I'm going to go back and add some little threads or something to these little tags, because these were in the ephemera pack. So I made this just a little pocket, and you can put all these little tags in there, and they're more of a decorative element than actually being used for anything. I did some collaging on this tag, and this could have a photo, or put plain paper back here and make it a spot to write. And this one, I let the paper do the work because it was beautiful paper. It matched this paper over here. Same thing, could do the paper or photo on the back. This has this great little pocket here, and it's a gusseted pocket, so you could really put something thick in there. I haven't even actually decided what I want to put in there yet, but it also has a magnet. I love all the magnet ideas. This pocket here is nice. It's a nice big pocket. It's like 6 inches wide. I did go ahead and keep these planer tags here, so those can be journaled on. And then you have this pocket over here. I didn't add a lot over there either. What I decided I would like is to make something to go in this pocket and to make something to go in this pocket here. Now, this can be used for this project, but this is also something you could use with any other project you're making. So I made this little notepad with some of the paper and just some plain copy paper, but I'm going to show y'all how to use it. It is stapled, but I made it so those staples are hidden, and that can go right here in this little pocket here. You can actually push it down all the way. So that's one of the elements I'm going to show you how to make. And then this is the other one. It is a little ephemera folder. I made it to go in this pocket right here. And it just uses some of the 8.5 by 8.5 paper. So it's still, I just want to show y'all what it's like with all this extra stuff in here. It still has lots of space, and it still closes up nicely. Now mine does not close right, so I have to kind of do that. But you know what? That's okay. All right, let me show you how to make that stuff. First, I'm going to show you how to make that cute little notepad. So you will need just some regular copy paper. You could also use lined paper. It doesn't matter. You want just a thin type paper. We are going to cut it in half and then in half again. So copy paper is 8.5 by 11. So to get it in half, it doesn't matter which way you cut first, whether you cut long ways or width ways, you just want to cut it in half. So since it's 8.5, we're going to cut at 4 1/4. And if you want to make a different size pad, you could do this the same exact way. So we have it lengthwise. I'm going to stack those up. By the way, this is the Spellbinders paper trimmer. Y'all, I have so many paper trimmers, but let me just tell you, I love this paper trimmer. It feels so sturdy. The blade does not wiggle at all. It comes with a cutting blade and a scoring tool right here on the trimmer. And the arm, what I love most about this, and I know this is not supposed to be about the trimmer, y'all, but I'm very picky when it comes to trimmers. There is no gap here. Like, I do need to like darken this a little to see these measurements, and then it extends all the way to 17 inches. So I'm in love with this trimmer. It is fabulous. All right, enough about the trimmer. My little dog Han Solo is in here, so y'all might hear him. He hears Mama talking, and he's trying to figure out what I'm talking about. All right, so now we have our little stack of paper. You're going to need 2 pieces of paper, not just one. So the front of it, I want to be something plainer because I want to decorate it. The back, it can be something fancy. This would even look pretty on the front, actually. I might use that and then use the butterflies for the back. That would look cute. Okay, so for the front of the book, as you can tell, this back wraps around, and I'm going to show y'all that. That's how we hide the staples. You just want it to cover. So it's going to be, I like to leave like just a little ledge here so you can see what's on the back. So we're going to line that up there. So we have 5 5/8. I know we don't like 8s, but it works for this project. And this one I did a little smaller, so we're going to ignore that. I cut the paper wrong the first time and I had to change it. But this, since that one is 4 1/4, we are going to do it 4 3/8 on the sides. So let's go ahead and cut this down. Now remember, this is going to be the cover, so you want to kind of place your paper where in your cutter, so you're getting the element, if there's one on the page, in the proper place. So just pay attention to that when you're cutting. So we're going to cut it across 4 3/8 right here. Hopefully I'm measuring right, y'all. It's been a day already. And then we're going to do it 5 5/8. So you want to find, that's a quarter, that's a half. So you want to go the 1/8 after that. And it doesn't have to be perfect, even though I'm over here trying to make it perfect. All right, so this is going to be the front cover. So we want to take that and set it aside, and now we're going to cut our back cover. Now, since our back cover wraps around, we know we need some extra space on the other side. So we're going to add some length to that other side of it. So instead of cutting it 5 5/8, we are going to cut it 6. So we're going to cut it 6. Let's go ahead and do the side cut first. So we're going to do 4 3/8. Make sure our butterflies are going the right direction, which I think these fly every direction. So we're pretty safe with that. And then we're going to cut it 6. All right. Now we want to take it and we want to go to 5 3/8. And you can use your scoreboard for this too. All right, so we're going to go to 5 3/8. And we are going to score that right there. So now we're going to move it up to 5 1/2 down here. So now you're going to move it to 5 1/2. And that's going to give us a little 1/8 of an inch little place to wrap around. So you should have it, it should look like this right here. So you should have 2 lines by each other. Yeah, I'm a little rusty. Haven't done this in a while, so y'all just bear with me. We're going to go ahead and crease those down. And if we did it right, now it's going to wrap around our pages. So let me get our pages for our book, which I have, there they are. It's like I've already lost them. So I'm going to stack those neatly, and we're just going to place it, and it's perfect. We do, remember we cut it a little bit bigger, so we should have a little edge. And you know what? Let me get a little paper clip to hold these together. Found one on the floor. Yes, I'm telling the truth, y'all. All right, so we're going to clip it together so it's a little bit easier to handle. And I can't get right over it, so I'm hoping that's lined up. Let's look. That's perfect. Now, I use this little tiny attacher from 10 Holtz. It's just a stapler with tiny staples, so you can use a standard stapler. You would probably only need to do 2. It's going to be covered up anyway. So now we're going to take that off, and you're going to come here, and so we want this to flip up. Let me get it all squared up. We want this to flip up, right? Because we want it to open like this. So we're going to do a score line there, and this might be different depending on how you cut your paper. So it's always a good idea to just go back and measure. So we have, man, we're in the 1/8 today. So we have 3/8 of an inch. We're going to come over here and we are going to do, this one's a little bit harder to look at. So I think this is an 1/8 to, let's say this is the 3/8, y'all. This, I may be messing this up, but we're going to just go with it. That does not look right. We're going to go with it. I think it's right. So now we're just going to fold that towards the front and crease it. Try to make sure it's squared. Could use sticky tape instead of glue here. I'm I like glue because I always put things down wrong and then I have to move it. So sticky tape is not as forgiving. I think my glue bottle is just getting low. I need to refill it. All right, so we're just going to get this lined up. We want the score mark to be along the edge of that spot. Now we're going to press it down. Let me wipe off this extra glue. Now, if I did it right, that should be correct. And it looks good. All right, so there's your little notepad. And y'all, this would be cute just to make for anything. This would even be a cute little teacher gift. Just put a pin with it and tie it. I just love it. So let's just add a cute little embellishment to it. Since we picked something that already had all these pretty butterflies, let's just add this. So if you find paper that's already embellished a good bit with its own design, you're, as Maymay always says, letting your paper do the work. And you don't have to do as much to decorate it. And there we go. And we have our little notebook. Perfect. So now we're going to make our little folder, and it is super easy to make. You only need one sheet of paper. I'm going to go with something plainer, and I'm going to tell y'all why. So remember, this is if you're using double-sided paper, and if you're using paper that has an orientation. Now, this paper truly doesn't have an orientation when you first glance at it, but then if you look closer, you can see it has words. So those words could like go upside down. If that doesn't bother you, then do this with either way facing out. But let's pretend like it bothers us, because it really doesn't bother me. We're going to use this whole sheet of paper. So I'm just going to cut off this Brandon strip. And y'all, this is like the easiest thing ever to make. So you can make these any size you want. So I'm going to show you why I chose to score it on the lines I chose to score it on based off the size of my tag. So depending on what you're going to put in your folder, you want to measure what you're putting inside it. So these tags are, they might have been bigger than this. I cut them down some when we were first making it. So they're not even 3 5/8. And then they're 6 inches. So I know I need at least 6 inches to put this tag into these pockets, right? And then this paper's 8 inches wide, so let's just go ahead and do it in half, because that's going to give us room on each side. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to score 4 inches down the center, and then we'll figure out our other score mark. So you want your paper going the orientation for up and down. Move that cutting blade up. I have really never had a trimmer that has the scoring thing that you can leave on it all the time. So it's taken some getting used to, but I really like it. I'm gonna have to pull out my scoreboard. All right, so now we have it scored right in the middle at 4 inches. We know our tag was 6 inches, right? So we need 6 inches, and then we want to have a little room at the top of the tag. So let's say 6 1/4. So let's go ahead and we will do 1 3/4 is where we are going to score it at the bottom of the piece of paper. So we're going to come over here and we're going to do 1. Oh, y'all, I was about to do 3 3/4. I would have messed up. All right, so 1 3/4 we're going to score across there. All right. We have to trim it a little bit at the bottom. So before we do that, we are going to go ahead and crease this. And then let's go ahead and fold it in half and crease that. And this is where your lines may be off a little. So I don't care what tool you use. Sometimes they're just off. So you just make that paper do what you want it to do. All right. Also, if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter because you're a human and you're going to do things that aren't perfect all the time. So you see where these meet? So you have this line and this score line here. I eyeballed this because it doesn't have to be perfect like we just said. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in and I'm going to cut at an angle and I'm going to stop where those lines meet. And then I'm going to do it again on this side. And if your angles don't match, it's fine. If someone tells you that, they're not your friend. Anyway, all right. Simple as that. This is why you wanted if the orientation paper would be flipped upside down. If you look at the one I made as the sample, see all the writing's upside down. So just keep that in mind. If you don't want your stuff to be upside down, then you want to use something plainer on the outside. So now we're just going to take our glue and just put it along the very edge. Just on this side. You're going to leave this part open. We're just going to glue that. Right? Perfect. Now you have this cute little pocketbook that you can fill with tags, with other ephemera. So I could think of an idea where you could take one of these little zipper bags and fill it with some ephemera and just staple that on there and then put that in the pocket. Give that to your crafty friend, tie a pretty little bow on it. Y'all, you have leftover ephemera and you have that crafty friend, ribbon, whatever. They would be so excited to get that as a little gift from you. Just stick it in an envelope and throw it in the mail. Such a good idea. Or, like we're doing now, add it to your folio, add it to a mini album. There, you could probably add another pocket here. You know, if y'all want to see that, let me know and I'll put it in the video. So then all you got to do is decorate it. So let's grab some ephemera. So I literally just turned around and grabbed some stuff that's sitting on the desk behind me. So this is one I made for the other book and I did it wrong when I was making my prototype. So we're going to use this paper. Just going to cut that scored part off. I love this like abstract design on this, and I'm not like paying attention to what my measurements are. Sorry, I do that often where it just doesn't matter to me. I just do what I think looks pretty. Yeah. So we're going to, that's why I like junk journaling. I think it has a little more freedom than scrapbooking, but that could just be in my brain and not really be true. All right, so I'm horrible at putting things straight. This even has a little graph on it, but it might not be cut straight. So that might not be the best thing to look at. How did I not put enough glue on it? Yeah, art glitter glue is great. I love it, but sometimes it dries before I even get it set. So yeah, that could be an issue. All right, so we're going to put this pretty little butterfly on here. Put that flying over there because I love butterflies. And then let's just put this little fern over here. I hope I'm staying in frame, y'all. I am so out of the filming thing, and if there's a way to get glue all over you, I'm gonna do that. Just know it's gonna happen. Let's see, do I want the words? I don't know if I want the words. Let's see what else we got here. Let's try this instead. Do we want it there? You know what I think would be cute? Let's do this. Let's put this heart. We're going to put this heart right here where this intersects. And then I'm going to take this, and we're just going to kind of stick the end of it inside that heart. I like that. And then I feel like it's missing something. I don't know what. Does it need another butterfly? I don't know if I like that. Might be too much. You know when you just feel like it needs something else, but then a lot of times I come back and I'm like, yeah, that didn't need that. Let me see if I have a different color butterfly. I didn't find a butterfly, but I kind of like this. I think I'm going to use it. I don't like those weeds. I mean roots. Weeds. Oh, Lordy. Okay. All right, y'all. So now you have this. And you put your little tags in here. And, of course, you could collage those if you wanted to. Now you have two cute little projects that you can put, give as gifts, or put inside other projects. So, anyway, thank y'all so much. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please give my video a thumbs up. It helps YouTube know that you enjoyed it and other people might enjoy it too. And I appreciate all y'all. Bye.